go with. Hello everyone, Spaced Oyster here, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age. In the last episode, we were exploring the Tomb of Raithwal, and yeah, just making our way through to the end here to find the Dawn Shard, and had to stop about halfway through-ish, and today we'll be going through the other half. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, that's why I hate bats. Also, I should have watched my language there. I am so very sorry. Maybe I should just edit that out. I don't know. Anyway, it's been a little while since I've gotten to play, so I am honestly itching to play. Although at the same time, having to deal with mostly bats is kind of diminishing that itch already. For the most part, it's just been work, and then more work, followed by work. I hate work. Been trying to find a different and better job, but that's not going out so well. That's not working out so well. Ooh, Vanish. I've never actually tried that spell out. I think what it does is it makes your characters invisible, obviously, and that the invisibility buff, I think it either lets you sneak past enemies, so if you're not attacking, they won't notice or attack you, or it dramatically increases your dodge rate. And then a Haste to Ga mote. Very, very handy to have, especially considering that we won't get the actual Haste to Ga spell for an obscenely long time. Woo, way to go, boys! Is it just me, or is Bosch the slowest party member? That makes sense. And without considering Vossler's stats, compared to the other three guys, Bosch does have the lowest natural speed. Yeah, there are ghosts in this side, the east section of the Tomb of Raithwal, and those ghosts are particularly not fun to play with. They'll constantly try and hit you with oil, and then once they've used oil, they're going to try and use fire spells on you. The bad part about oil is that it always hits in an area of effect, so it's pretty much if they target one person and get the spell off, everyone's getting covered in oil. Yeah, this side has ghosts, the other side had zombies. Anyway, yeah, just, well, aside from work, I've also been playing a lot of Breath of the Wild again. I was kind of craving it. I tried that new challenge mode they had, but I immediately stopped when I noticed the enemies were regaining health when I wasn't attacking them. Like, the challenge is one thing, but that's just complete and utter bullshit. And then you add on to that the usual things Nintendo does to make something difficult, i.e. just have it kill you in one hit, and yeah, bad game. Okay, so that's the way we need to go, but I'm actually going to explore the rest of this, the east side of the tomb real quick to see if there are any good treasures. Give me just a sec. Alright, and we're back. Sorry, just had things off screen messing around. And I needed to take care of that. Then we go up these steps. Sorry, I don't know why I want to start saying things like that, but I just want to. But for the most part, Breath of the Wild's been pretty enjoyable for a second playthrough. I've just been doing the normal mode, since the challenge mode is so stupid it's not even worth considering. Oh, okay, yeah, I thought Balthier was ahead of Fran again, but nope. Everything's right on track. Ugh, another ghost. And they're not letting me open things very easily. Not fun. And I think we're almost at the other end, and then we'll be able to see if there's anything in the other entrance to this section, and then we can just teleport down there. Or I guess I could just walk back down after I've explored. Either way, it's not going to be too tough. Another ghost. Stupid cheating ghosts. Vaughn's level 22. I think I need to let him gain one more before I can swap him out for Ash. More treasure. Gravity. Gravity is kind of a useless spell. All gravity does is it deals damage equal to 1/4 of the target's total HP. And, like, it's basically treated like an instant death spell, so there are many enemies who just completely resist it. Like, most status conditions and utility spells are going to be very worth your time to use in this, but the exceptions are those instant death spells and instant death spells and percentage-based attacks. I wouldn't even bother with them. Sorry, keep getting distracted. Balance. I don't know what balance does. I can probably check. Balance. Deals damage equal to the difference between caster's current and max HP to all foes in range. It could be kind of useful if you're going for a low HP sort of run. I really wouldn't do it myself, but you could if you wanted to. Yay, the birdie... Ooh, excuse me. The birdies drop handkerchiefs. That's going to be handy. A whole room right here. With nothing in it. Yay! Well, that's something, actually. The winged helmet. I'm already equipped with what? Yeah, it's really tough to switch between the Switch and then this, because they swap around where the buttons are in the Switch for some stupid reason. In fact, I think PlayStation is the one system that's different from the other two, because they put the general use button, A on the other controllers, but I'm just gonna call it general use button because it's X for Sony stuff. They put for PlayStation and Sony, it's on the bottom, but for Xbox and Nintendo, I think it's on the right side. Or maybe it's just Nintendo. Nintendo usually does the weird stuff. Although sometimes the weird stuff pays off. I loved the GameCube controller. And if I could use it for every single console ever made, I would. Anyway, we're just gonna speed things up and run on back. And then we'll be at the end of the Tomb of Raithwal. Yeah, like I said, not an interesting dungeon per se, but pretty much all of them in Final Fantasy XII are this small. And these treasures respawned. I mean, they only have small amounts of gil in them, but small amounts of gil are small amounts of gil more than what I had before. Well, I guess while I'm thinking about it, there's one small tidbit I can mention about the Gambit system that I don't think I brought up. It's actually how they programmed the AI in Final Fantasy III. The Gambit system was pretty much lifted right from Final Fantasy III and put into this. So if you ever go back and replay that one, you can probably break it wide open, understanding exactly what's going to happen, since every enemy you encounter is going to be programmed to react in very specific ways. Anyway, cutscene time.
Fog? Underground?
Not fog. Mist.
You can see the mist with your eyes?
Where it is thick enough, you may. The nether runs deep in this place.
So, is the mist dangerous?
Yes, but it is also an aid. A dense mist allows the working of powerful magics.
I'll keep that in mind. Can't count on Vaughn to keep track of these things. That's for sure.
Come on, Penella, you gotta give the guy a bit more credit. Anyway, that's supposedly supposed to be like a tutorial of sorts on things you get access to in the Mist menu, on the action in the menu here. I don't have any Mist abilities unlocked, so it doesn't show up on mine yet. However, it's also kind of misleading, because the Mist doesn't let you do anything better. It actually acts as more of a warning that you're about to come across something big. Big and scary. Maybe not scary, I don't know. It depends on what you're afraid of. And then another small detail that should be apparent as we go forward, but the characters in this game, the party members anyway, it seems like they're the friends who don't get along, because they rarely talk to more than one or two other party members. Yeah, boss fight time. This is Belias, or Belias. I don't know how to pronounce his name exactly. He is the Esper of Fire. I think he shows up a lot in the Final Fantasy Tactics series. Anyway, the only thing we really need to worry about here is that I don't have my right Gambit setup set up. So I'm going to change this to Balthier and turn that on. I should have done that before I walked down here, but I forgot about it. Anyway, point is, this is going to be our boss fight down here, and it's a little bit tricky, but at the same time not. The only thing to really watch out for is his really big attack. Let's see, I think it's called Fire Gu. No, Firaja. yeah, it looks like this. It's very nice and pretty. And the only reason you'd want to watch out for it is because it can inflict oil. So if you wanted to set up a gambit to use a handkerchief on anyone with oil, then that might be worthwhile. Speaking of which, Bosch got hit with oil, so I'm going to go ahead and use a handkerchief on him. I'll leave it on Vossler, because it really doesn't matter. Sadly, boss fights aren't much more interesting than the setup you use to get into them, because, well, with the gambit system to essentially play the game for you, it's really pretty much all about the preparation, and then watching those preparations get executed excellently.
In vain glory they arose, shouting challenges at the gods, but prevail they did not. Their doom it was to walk the mist until time's end. A legend of the Nemo.
My family tells a story of the Dynast King and an Esper. The story goes that in his youth, the Dynast King defeated a mighty Gigas, for which the gods took heed of him. Thereafter, it was ever bound to him in thraldom.
So, all this time it's been here guarding the Dynast King's treasure?
Not so. The Esper is the Dynast King's treasure.
That's your treasure?
In this Esper we now command rests a power whose worth is beyond any measure.
Is that so? Call me old-fashioned, but I was hoping for a treasure whose worth we could measure.
Yep. So, with the defeat of Belias, he becomes an Esper that we can now summon. Let's see. I want to turn off the decoy gambit, and then I can show you where that's at. Yeah, right here. Oh, and then we also unlocked the ability to get our secondary jobs. I'm gonna have to go over that, but before I do that, I'm going to get through the Tomb of Raithwal and pick up the Dawn Stone, or Dawn Shard. Dawn Stone? I think it's a stone. We're gonna pick that up because there are a few cutscenes, and then I can go over the next jobs that we'll be unlocking. Mostly I want to go over which jobs work well with which other jobs, and give you a general vague idea of how to use your setup. And why am I running around as Vaughn? Vossler, you're up!
What's wrong?
Your Majesty, we must go.
What?
What a twist!
will be avenged.
Alright, we got the Dawn Shard. It was a shard, not a stone. Alright. Anyway, the Dawn Shard is going to function very similarly to that Goddess's Magicite we got earlier. That ended up being the Midlight Shard, I think. It reduces your MP to 0, but gives you a lot of magic resist. Crap, I accidentally put it on Vaughn. Well, that's okay, he doesn't need it. Oh well. And we swapped it right back, so it doesn't even matter. Wait. Huh. I don't remember setting that up. By this, return ye to the Hall of the Destroyer. By other means, return ye back to this place. No idea what that means. Let's just touch it. Touch the cow. Touch the cow. Touch the cow. Sorry, watched too much Bob's Burgers lately, too. Alright, so we're going to touch this waystone again, and that will return us to where we entered. And we'll go ahead and touch this crystal. Alright, so I'm throwing this part in here because I completely forgot to do it when we got Belias. So I just made this post-commentary, or after the fact. Yeah, this is actually live commentary for reading this thing and looking at this thing, but I'm adding it in after I made the episode. Anyway, I figured I should go over the lore of the Espers at the very least, because they're kinda neat, and they don't really get brought up that much beyond being an occasional boss you encounter. So, here is the bestiary entry for Belias the Gigas, Mesha Ascendant, Scion of Darkness and Guardian of the Holy Realm, made by the gods in opposition to the transcendent Logwith, Scion of Light. Called the Gigas for his appearance, man and monster fused as one. Considered a mistake upon his making and receiving not his intended role, the Gigas challenged the gods and lost. Scorned by his masters, he found another, the Dynast King, whose tomb he swore to protect for eternity. Yeah, from now on, I'll make sure to bring up their bestiary entries on the spot, so that way you can see those right away. Anyway, that's all I wanted to bring up. With that, I think I'll go ahead and end off this episode. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and/or subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Spaced Oyster signing out.